Ladies and gentlemen, this intro is going to be different because I started this from the mud, like just driving home on the highway, called my daughter the next day. Hey, babe, have you seen what Fat Joe's been doing, interviewing his friends on IG? I want to do that. And my daughter's like, let's do it, Dad, because, we had a little rough, I had a young, so, I wanted to tell that story to other young dads that, they might be going through the same thing. Then I got my brother that I haven't seen in 30 years from my father's side. Then I got this guy, my man Frank, that made this he has his own business. I'm like, I got friends that are popping. Ladies and gentlemen, Dren Starr is in the building. Legendary. If you don't know him, you're gonna find out. The young kids don't know him, but the OGs know who Dren Starr is, because I already got DMs. Yo, you got Dren Starr? I say, yes, I do, baby. So welcome, my brother. Thank you for doing this. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
I've been watching, your podcast as well. You and your man.
Yeah, big Tank.
Big Tank. Yeah, braids. He had dreads.
Yeah, he had dreads. He cut them off. He caught a little situation. You know what I'm saying?
I had dreads too.
Okay.
I got rid of 8 years with dreads.
All right,
my man, what do you call him? So he has the other name, the Domingo something.
Taino Domingo. Yeah.
But welcome, my brother. Thank you for doing that. Like I said, usually we start born and raised, but if you don't know that Dren starts from LES, then you not paying attention. That's easy. So let's do born and raised anyway.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? Born and raised Lower East Side, man. My whole life, and I'm still down there. You know
but in the better part.
Of course.
I heard you say that before.
Of course. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in the projects. I'm right by the projects, but it's you be surprised the difference it is. You know what I'm saying? When you're not in NYCHA anymore. And you know what I'm saying?
I never experienced NYCHA.
NYCHA is. I
visited a couple of girls, to get some buns, but I didn't feel right.
You was a real one, because back in the days we used to play the lobby. You know what I'm saying?
I ran into her in the morning.
Yeah.
But it was the old ladies. I knew how to do it.
Yeah.
You sneak in around 6 p.m.
You got to go early
and get the hell out of there early. So
you know, Mobb Deep had that record. What was that record called? Don't ever go see a bitch in the hood.
Yeah, it's a fact.
It was like, you know what I'm saying?
That shit ain't cool.
The trench was different.
I used to actually work. Well, I used to work in the whole city, but we had routes with the payphones.
Okay.
So we had to maintain the payphones. They're not there no more. Now they're like Wi-Fi towers. So I know Alphabet City very well. I call it. That's the part that I focus on. The gringo part is cool,
Avenue
cats
D,
and all that.
C, yeah.
But the avenues, I know that the projects are on Avenue D.
Yeah,
I know for a fact.
It's still lit over there.
Bro, there's 3 payphones that I used to have to clean or maintain over there.
Was this?
And it's 2 in the morning.
Was this the private payphones or the city payphones?
It was the 9X ones, the box ones.
Yo, I used to make money off those payphones.
Yeah, bro.
Back in the days, forget about that. I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you brought that up. But back in the days, right? I used to cut, and I forgot who put me on to this, but it was ill. You know the wire piece that holds the handset.
100%.
So we used to clip that and put a safety pin in the red wire, bro. Right? Check this out. This hustle was the illest hustle ever, bro. I ran around the whole city.
I'm glad I brought this up.
It was the illest hustle. I used to show this to people. I'm like, yo, how the fuck you know about this shit? So first of all, when you put the safety pin in the red wire, right? You can make free phone calls. You don't even have to put quarters in.
That's crazy.
But when you pull that red wire out, bro, and you hang up the phone, everybody that put a quarter in that payphone that day, it comes out the change machine. So I should just run around the city plotting those pins and just pulling them out and just hanging up. Yo, it should be like a slot machine. Yo, they should come down so fast. I used to have to push the door to stop it to take the quarters out. Bro, this shit was like a full-time job for me all day, bro. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
That was the illest hustle, you know what I'm saying, that I had with the payphones. It's funny. It's funny you say that though.
No,
legendary moments.
That was my LES, because that was LES Chinatown.
Yeah.
Little Italy, they were all there together. So once I saw my route, and I'm like, fuck, I gotta go over there today. Thank God I never had no issues, because I'm 49, and we know how to carry ourselves.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a time that you're gonna walk by a bunch of dudes. There's a time that the lobby situation.
Yeah.
You can't fold. Don't look down. Look straight. So it's everything. How you carry yourself is so important.
Absolutely.
And because how they say now, you can't look like food. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You can't.
Yeah.
So if
you got to move like you belong there.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's your block. That's your building.
Yeah. So
you know what I'm saying?
First of all, I'm pulling up in a work van. I'm jumping out with a poster. I'm opening the door. Yo, what's good? Yo, y'all good? All right. So I acknowledge them. Show love. That might not work. It might work. I don't know. But I thank God I was there 12 years. I never had no issues. And it was other hoods. You know, people think that Manhattan is all 10-5 is not cute.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Manhattan's okay. Go to 10th and see what's going on over there. The Hell's Kitchen.
Word.
So I was in many hoods. Dykeman, I had to do phones. Wherever the phones I had to deal with. But so let's talk about the MVP. Yes, I've been stalking you for about 2 weeks. The MVP, which is your mom's. You know, I know you lost your pops at a young age, but you speak so well of your mom's and how she had to hold it down. You and your sister.
Definitely, yeah.
And a lot of me as well. You know, my dad wasn't around. Mom's held it down.
Yeah.
And let's talk about those times. Your friends, maybe they had parents, maybe moms, whatever. But let's talk about those parents in our days, bro, of the 80s and late 70s, you know, however age you are, even now. The mom, they don't give credits. They don't give the dads credit, but they talk about the moms, bro, that like us that held it down, man.
Yeah, listen, my mom definitely held it down, man. Like I said, you know, she was single moms, Puerto Rican. She was also born and raised on the Lower East Side. So, you know, that's that LEF Latina strength.
They knew her.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, my mother held weight, you know what I'm saying? And she still does, you know what I mean? She's alive and kicking well. She always supported everything I did. We have the same birthday. We're both on the same day.
That's fire.
You know what I'm
I've
saying?
never heard of that.
Yeah, I'm 11/23/77. She's 11/23/50.
Wow. So wait, so you've been celebrating your birthday with your mom since
Forever. Facts.
And you don't miss a year?
Never.
You don't travel on those days.
I travel on those days, and when I do, I make sure I fly back the day before. You know what I'm saying?
That's beautiful.
That's something that we always, you know, we always celebrate.
Yo, that is legendary.
Yeah. A lot of people bug out. Like they be bugging
so
sometimes.
I never heard that.
Word.
That's fire.
Yeah. We both got the same birthday, so you know that's mama love, man. We got one mother. You know what I'm saying? So
no, it's a fact.
She been there. You know what I'm saying? Through thick and thin. And you know, as a youngin', I drove her crazy.
Oh,
you know
yeah, we all did.
You know, my sister's older than me. She's 7 years older than me. You know what I'm saying?
She was part of it too. That's my next question. Let's talk about Big Sis. You know what I mean?
She's good. You know what I'm saying? We definitely took two different paths. You know what I'm saying? I was the one in trouble. You know, hood shit.
Hood
you know
shit, regular shit.
Moving and grooving and shaking and baking. My sister became police. She, you know what I mean? She went on the other side. She just actually retired now.
Blessings.
So she's good. You know, I might put on a little security detail for the Rock.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
Make it happen.
You know, we had that type of environment growing up, but you know, we were very well. You know, I got a small, tight knit, close family. We all born and raised on the Lower East Side. You know what I'm saying? So from my aunts, my uncles, mother, sister, we all born and raised on the Lower.
The only thing I remember, besides my job, but that was you know when I was ready, out off the streets. But when I was cabin, when you know about the cabin, the OJ days, I had a couple of homies from the Bronx, and I'm gonna ask you about it. If you don't know, we can skip it. But what was there a strong Latin King culture there? Because I would take personal rides. They would call me, "Yo, we got a meeting." And we always go to LES, and I'm like, is this like where the chapter is or something?
I mean, it could have been, but I wasn't into none of that. So,
okay. So I thought their presence was like bigger than.
Nah.
Oh, okay. So they were probably just maybe one block or whatever.
LES cats, like we were never part of that, but we were our own crew. Like just being from the Lower, it was considered a gang or a unit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So especially when we was locked up north. It was like, you know, it was crazy because back then in the hoods, like you had the Hill where I'm from, you had Smith Projects, you had Alphabet City.
Yeah.
Like we would want to kill each other. It was wicked, bro.
Wow.
But once we was up top, we were all a unit. We were all a family.
You had no choice.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like, yo, them LES niggas is different, B. It was that, and in the clubs, we used to get crazy. You know what I'm saying? We used to form like Voltron. But
I'm pretty sure you got some good tunnel stories.
Oh, yeah. Tunnel
because
was
technically, you're home.
Yeah.
And everybody else is not.
Exactly.
If you're from the Bronx, you far from the tunnel. Brooklyn's far from the tunnel. Queens, you are actually close.
Yeah, I got a crazy tunnel story that you bring up with Punter. As a matter of fact, we were in there. It was Bronx Tail Night.
Okay.
I'll never forget it. It was Bronx Tail Night, and it was we was up there. It was Terror Squad and then Lord Tariq and Peter Gunn's camp.
Okay.
We were all backstage in the in the green room waiting to perform and shit like that. And one of the dudes in Lord Tariq and Peter Gunn's camp, he must have been lit. He had to be lit.
Yeah.
So he was running around and he was like, "Fuck all these German niggas doing it here."
Oh yeah, we didn't like that back then.
What?
We didn't like that.
That's the first time, and I got.
Let me interrupt you.
Go ahead.
Germans was an offense to Puerto Ricans or Dominicans.
Yeah.
What are
both.
they? So if someone called you a German back in those days, they were offending you. Continue.
Facts. And that was the first time I saw a Big Pun take his chain off, bro. He took his, he had the crazy Cuban, the long Cuban with the tombstone.
Yeah,
he took that shit off, bro. He wrapped it around his hand like 3 or 4 times. And when I told you he beat flames out this kid, like nonstop, I thought the kid was dead, bro. Like Pun just did him so dirty. And like security couldn't even break it up. Like security actually formed a circle, so nobody could break it up.
Damn. So
Pun could do what he had to do. You know what I'm saying? But that's my tunnel story, bro. Legendary night. Legendary.
And we got I actually wore my boy Frank from Wheeler. He made 2 of these, but then he had to stop for other reasons. But I had to wear my Pun hoodie today. This man, if you don't know who he is, interview Pun. How many times?
I did his last interview before he passed away.
So the one that he's leaning out the Benz, or the one he's sitting inside?
That one.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that one. He went to go buy. That was in the Bronx actually. He went to go buy some 4-wheelers for the crew. He always looked out for the team, for the crew.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? And then after that is when he was trying to lose weight. So he went to the Fat Farm in North Carolina. That's when he lost, the 100 pounds, 200 pounds, whatever it was. And then, unfortunately after that, he passed away.
No, I got so many Pun stories because there's one thing about Terror Squad, and for people that don't know, they are not now, because it's not really many, it's only pretty much just Joe, even Remy, but they were so touchable back then. Mm-hmm. They were there.
Yeah, facts.
Like Pun bought a house in the hood.
Yep.
I used to same thing when I was cabbing. He actually
he had some cars in the cab base.
Yes, I was just gonna say that.
He had a few cars.
He had a few cars in the base.
Yeah.
But it was a rumor because they didn't want to broadcast that. But if you knew, you knew.
Yeah,
that type of shit. So his house, I think, was on by the Cross Bronx, and it was just, I'm like, why does he live here? That's Pun. Like,
that's what he. Yeah, that's
that's how it was.
Yeah.
And in the after hours, I would always see him in the afters. Joe was always touchable. But Terror Squad was always, shout out to them, man. But let's talk about, how did you first get into the music, as far as before the studios, before the radio station that we're gonna get into, like, because there's always a story. Oh, my uncle or somebody showed you something. Like, what was that bug?
It was, just being raised in the hood. Like, music was always a thing. Like, we didn't have much. You know what I'm saying? So like, music was always a thing. There was dudes in my building that was DJs and things like that, and they were older than me. You know what I'm saying? So like, I gravitated towards that. I
tell people that the get down is real.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
Like, if you are 20 years old, 25, and you want to understand the start of hip hop, or at least the beginning of the poverty in the Bronx and this the city, period, check out the Get Down on Netflix. That is it.
Yeah, that's it. Facts.
Like, these motherfuckers fighting to get a record was real. Mm-hmm. So, I'm pretty sure that's what you saw. Like, hey,
listen, that's what it was, man. And like, I just, I took it, I fell in love with it, and I really ran with it. I took it real serious. You know what I'm saying? So, once I got that introduction to the music scene, that was it. And I was young. I would have to say, I would probably say like around 10, 11-ish, around there.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, my first turntables that I like put a needle and record on. I'm like, oh, this is how this works. You
know what it was too, and I say this with a lot of, because I love interviewing DJs. I just can you still do it?
I haven't
with the laptop shit,
bro. I don't even know how to do that Serato shit. You know what I'm saying? Nah, man. Like once I seen that, like, I stopped DJing years ago, like over 20 years ago. Like, that was like a little phase I went through.
It wouldn't be hard for you to pick it up.
Nah. That's a skill that just never leaves you.
Yeah, you pick it up. BPM,
you know what I'm saying? But like,
bullshit.
Yeah, but now it's easier. Like, you don't gotta do shit. The fucking computer does everything for you.
you just got a master beast.
Yeah, like I came from the vinyl era where like you really had to like know how to blend and mix and acapellas with instrumentals. Now this all these digital numbers, you just punch it in and
Done.
it's done. You know what I'm saying?
No, but no, I love the fact that you guys. But think about it. There was nothing else to do.
Yeah.
Kids, we had nothing. We used to flip on the mattress. People would throw mattresses in the garbage. We would take the box spring, the one with the spring. That would be the leap, and then we would use the soft part to land.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers was doing backflips in the hood.
Facts.
And then we, obviously, the garbage man came and took it. Now we got to learn how to flip without it.
Mm-hmm.
And lots of niggas started flipping off of benches. So when someone picks up a hobby like that or an interest, it's because there's nothing else. There's no PlayStation.
Exactly.
There's no Nintendo. There's nothing.
Yeah.
So it's easy for a kid to pick up that love, for his for that craft because there's nothing else. You know what I mean?
Yep.
What So let's get into the radio station because this shit is. I've heard this story 100 million times and it's fucking amazing to me. I was telling him about it the other day. He was like, "Get the fuck out of here." I'm like, "Yep." I'm like, the news came, and that was the end of it. But
yeah, that was a classic moment, man.
Yeah. What even inspired that?
That started because a friend of mine was doing it, right? But he was doing house music. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
so
that was popping back then.
it was popping, but it was. You're right. It was popping back then, but it was kind of phasing out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So remember, like when it phased out, it phased out. It never
Was that
came
the freestyle
back.
coming in? Kind of, sort of, around that
Yeah,
era?
around that. You know what I'm saying?
Because Hot 97 wasn't Hot 97.
No.
Flex was playing freestyle music.
Yeah. And then
Don't let Flex fool you. He was spinning them goddamn.
It got converted.
It got converted.
Facts. So, when he brought me on, I was like, yo, listen, bro, like, I'm not doing this house shit, bro. I'm hip hop, strictly hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And at the time I had all the label connections and shit like that. I was interning on a label, so I was already tapped in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I took that whole situation and like you just said, like Hot 97 wasn't playing, like I converted the whole shit. Mm-hmm. And once I did the conversion, he was like, yo, bro, you right. Wow. Like I didn't know. I said, yeah, bro, you bugging. Like nobody's listening to house. Like I get it. That's your love and passion. But if we're going to do this, we're going to do it this way. And I'm going to blow this shit up.
So it was already established?
It was going on, yeah. It was going
okay.
on. But I transitioned it from house to hip hop. And then once I did the transition to hip hop, I started doing my own thing. I learned how it works with the transmitters and the antennas. And I just started doing me. You know
That's
what I'm saying?
Crazy.
Yeah.
So what was the length? Like how long?
It was the whole city. So
boroughs.
I had the 5 boroughs. And you know what I'm saying? So my building back in the days, my building was the tallest building in the housing projects. You know what I'm saying?
So you got the
So my building was 26 stories and I lived on the 23rd floor. So what I did was I had a long ass ladder, brought it to the roof, and those buildings they got another roof on top of the roof with the elevator shaft.
100%. Yep.
So on that roof is when I put the antenna on. So every Sunday what I used to do is I used to drop the wire from that and put it through my window. And then, screw it to the transmitter. And I used to do this every week.
This is legendary.
No, it's crazy. And again, my building is right by the water. So like when I had like really the Empire State Building in the hood, that's what it was. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't live that high up, it would have never worked.
That's a fact.
But the fact that I lived so close to the roof, it was to my advantage.
Yeah, because what is Empire State Building? It was back then the towers.
It's the towers for all the radio stations are, and that's why, because the higher the building is, the more coverage you get.
And that's why.
So that's how the signals work. When you transmit, it's like a light bulb. The more you raise a light bulb, the more light. So that's like how radio signals work. If you keep raising the light bulb, or whatever lights up, those are all the people you're gonna hit.
You said you had a system. That's how you knew.
Yeah.
Where the power was, because you would take.
Yeah, I had
Explain
meters.
that to the people.
I had meters. It was I forgot the name of it. It was a SWUV meter or something, but it was a meter.
Yeah.
Remember, this is when Radio Shack was open.
Nobody needs the whiz.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? From again, that era.
You could buy these things. No Amazon, people. No Amazon.
Word. Amazon wasn't
You had
even
to
around.
go. You had to go. Nobody needs the whiz. Radio,
you
or
had
radio
to go.
Shack.
You had to like tell them your specs, and you had to tell
And
them
know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
The salesman would fucking kick you. Bro, yo, go call your father. Figure out your need. Get out of here. Next, because that's a whole different language.
Yeah, for sure.
If you want to Walkman, no problem. Here you go. But if you start talking radio,
yeah, I was playing. I was in different territory. Like I used to go there. They used to look at me like, "Yo, what are you doing, bro?" You know what I'm saying?
you built the transmitter.
No, I didn't. Somebody else built it for me.
But it was built.
It was built. Yeah, it was
That's
built.
not something that you buy.
You can't. Yeah, I mean, you could buy it now, but you still need an FCC license. Like, you can't just go. It's like buying a gun. You just can't go buy a gun because you got money. You need to show a license.
So radio, same
you need
thing.
to show.
They got a FCC for a reason.
Exactly, for that.
They protect themselves.
Because if they sold it to everybody be on the radio.
Yeah, we ain't got time for that.
Saying, but I had it built from scratch. Like, I gave the dude the specs, and he put it together, built it from scratch, and that's how I was able to get it.
No, that's and then so you told the story before. So when the news lady, what was her name?
Bob and Evans Taylor.
So she comes to you because okay, if you knew that she was gonna fuck your shit up.
No, I knew she was gonna do it, but it's the way she came at me. Because first she came like a fan, like she called up because we used to take live phone calls and everything on the show. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's how we used to gauge our listeners.
100%.
You know, the first thing I said be like, yo, where you calling from? I'm like, yo, I'm calling from the Bronx, calling from Brooklyn, I'm calling from Queens. Mm-hmm. Boom, boom. So when she called, you know, all our callers were from the hood, bro.
Hell yeah.
Niggas was on payphones, niggas was in barbershops.
The proper voice?
Freestyling. Once I heard her voice, I'm like, oh, and I already knew who she was because all I do is watch the news. And I'm like, fuck, bro.
The jig is up.
Yeah, man. So I'm like, you know
But they don't
what?
know where you at still.
They didn't know where I was at. But, you know, I saw what she was doing with Hot 97. You know what I'm saying? So when I saw that, you know, I told the team, I said, yo, this might be a dub. But then when she was like actually bigging me up, she goes, Dren, so many people keep talking about your show. I've been listening to you for a minute. The way you run it, like, I would never think it's illegal. You know what I'm saying? I said, yeah, because nobody knows, like, the way we, you know, the sweepers, the drops, the commercials. It was, the only way you knew if something was going on, because I used to play all the dirty versions. I used to play all the dirty versions. And then when dudes used to call on the phone, for whatever reason, they used to just love to hear themselves cursing. Because, you know, you never heard curses on the radio.
They're using that skill.
So even that, they was like, what, nigga? You can call my man's show, is lit. He lets you, you know what I'm saying? They used to pass the phone off for freestyle, things like that. But yeah, that was a moment, man. That was a real legendary moment of my career.
And that was
man.
after Babito in Stretch?
It was around the same time.
So they had their show.
Yeah, they had 89.9. Okay. They had 89.9 and I had 91.9.
So they were official, or they had
no. That was a college station. That was official.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was WKCR. That was a school college
and
station.
You because I know Smooth comes up a lot. Your old partner.
Yeah.
You guys at one point were tied at the hip. What? So it was you, him, and did you guys have a team?
It was me, him, and Centronics was a host. But me and Smooth did the hip.
And it was
the
live
DJ.
or it had that.
It was that. But then when I got my own transmitter, I did it live.
So you had the DAT tape just to bring them in.
We had the DAT tape because you know, like when you're doing a live show, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of moving parts. The phone is going crazy. So to alleviate a lot of our workload during the week, we should record 45-minute segments. Let the DAT play while we just chill, you know, answer the phone. Sometimes we used to rent limos and run around and visit dudes in the barbershops while the show was on.
Hell yeah.
You know, I had, you know, Sprite, I had a lot of sponsors, you know, fuck with me under the table. We used to do a lot of giveaways. You know what I'm saying?
So that would keep them busy.
Yeah.
And you can tell if actually listen to a Funk Flex show, right? When you see that he's not talking, that's a DAT. Mm-hmm. And when Flex is going crazy, that's Flex. Yeah. So there's nothing wrong with it. No, it just gives the show a break.
There's nothing wrong with it, and then you could never tell unless you really know radio. Like you could never tell if it's pre-recorded or it's not. Because
100%.
Even if it is, once he cracks the mic live, then it, like you said, he's there live.
You know you could tell.
Yeah.
And I think what made it work as well, Sundays was really not a hip hop day, bro.
At all. So that we filled that void. So that was part of our programming because Sundays, like you said, there was no hip hop. There was talk shows. There was
what was the Jamaicans?
Reggae, Bobby Condas and them.
They had that shit locked down.
They had it on lock.
Do they still got it? Sundays
I think so.
on 97?
I don't even listen to radio anymore.
Me either.
Bro,
I got a playlist and I got YouTube.
They got YouTube. They got streaming. They got all of it like radio.
But Sunday definitely was nothing. It was nothing, bro.
Sunday was lit, man. Like you know, the big Sunday show was Marley Marl Future Flavors.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And me and him, like they didn't know this, but me and him used to broadcast together at the same time. Like he's the one that put me on to where the ISDN remote was. I didn't know that shit. You know what I'm saying? So when I first met Marley, I thought he was trying to play me. This is a funny story too.
Hell yeah.
Because he's like, yo, Dren, come to the crib. And I'm like, all right, cool. And, you know, at the time, he lived upstate New York. So Future Flavors used to come on, if I'm not mistaken, it was either 10 or 11. I want to say 11.
Yeah.
So he hits me up at like 10 o'clock. I just powered my shit down because out of respect for him, I used to shut down. So, because he came back with the hip hop.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That like from like 4 to 5 or like that all them hours, it was Street Soldiers. It was all talk on radio.
Yeah.
It was no, you know what I'm saying? So he's like, yo, come to the crib. And I'm like, I'm looking at the time and it's 10 o'clock at night and he's giving me the address and he goes live on Hot 97 at 11. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, this is not right. Something's not right. Like I'm going,
the hood instinct kicked in.
yeah, and I'm like, but you know, he's a legend. You know, he extended the invite. I'm not going to question him.
100%.
Marley Marl's an icon of hip hop. He's a legend.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
God bless him.
So I go to his crib. You know, he got the crazy crib, 4 studios, and he was doing the Hot 97 radio show out of his crib all these years, and I never knew it.
Holy shit.
Because he had an ISDN remote. That's what it's called. Legal. So it works like a fax machine. So you got to have 2 of them. Oh. And you got to dial in. And when you dial in, it patches the signal through flawlessly.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? This is before Wi-Fi. So you had to have a separate high-speed phone line just for this one device.
He's Marley Marl, so he had that.
Yeah, so that's why he was. Now, I really understood how radio worked because that's how these dudes broadcast all around the world, like Japan and Europe and, you know, all these stations now. Like, this is how they're able to hit several markets in one shot because they all have that ISDN unit.
Fire. Let's move on to you building a legit studio in your hood, LES. Mm-hmm. Not no basement, not no grandma. No. This is a real storefront.
Yeah.
Commercial, real studio in the hood.
Yeah.
That's fire, bro. How did that come about?
That came about when the Fed shut me down. When the Fed shut me down, I'm like, I can't stop now. Like,
what's next?
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? My name was bubbling. I had some motion. I'm like, damn, what am I gonna do next? You know what I'm saying? So you know, at the time I partnered up with my man Uncle B, rest in peace now.
I heard that name before. He's legendary, right?
Yeah, legend.
He was like the guy that would sponsor the Dreamers.
Yes,
that's what I heard. And exactly those terms. And we don't have to say rappers' names, but I heard he would. Oh, you can rap? Oh, you got a dream?
Yeah.
Here you go. Hold that. And
so that's how he was.
That's real shit.
1000%. You know what I'm saying? I had one conversation with him, and he was, you know, he knew my history. Obviously, he was like, "Yo, bro."
Probably knew your mom's.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's crazy. My
mom's, ain't going nowhere.
My mom's ran down on me one time. Yo, I heard you hanging out with. And I'm like, yeah, what happened? She was like, yo,
be careful.
Be easy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's a legend in the hood. He's much older than me. Yeah. So like to her, like the ages didn't match. You know what I'm saying? But
100%.
But like you said, he was a real one. So he always supported people's passions and people's dreams. You know what I'm saying? So when I gave him the idea, I said, yo, it's a no-brainer, bro. He goes, there's nothing to talk about. Do what you got to do. Let's get it. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, he gave me his blessings. I opened up the studio and, you know, I called it Pirate Recordings because I just finished the radio shit. It made sense. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I started that.
How many you had? But I heard you say before you had more than one.
Yeah, so we moved. Like, you know, you got to start somewhere. You know 100%. What I'm saying? So we started in the hood, dead smack in the hood, right in the middle of the project, Lower East Side. Started getting crazy because it was a storefront.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It was a storefront, and you know we had 2 floors. So the top was like a lounge area. You know what I'm saying? And then the downstairs was where all the equipment was and the mic booth and all of that. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because when we first opened it up, I had covered all the windows with like posters. So the cops thought it was a drug spot. Because remember, back in the days,
that's how they did it.
That's how the drug spots were. You know what I'm saying? And then you see dudes standing in the front all day, all night.
Yeah, your friends don't care. We showing Dren love, and this is where we're gonna hang out.
So they're
making it hot.
Summertime, we used to play dominoes in the front. We ran the whole block. So
barbershop shit.
Yeah. So they're like, yo, who the fuck these niggas think they are bugging out? Like, are they this bold and obvious to be? So you know, they ran in the studio a few times, and once they seen what was going on downstairs, it's like, oh man, you would never think this was here. I'm like, yo, can y'all leave us alone now? Like, we're working. Like, you know
tell the captain we cool, man.
Exactly. So, you know, after they hit us like 2 or 3 times, they was like, yo, you know what? Y'all do y'all thing, man. You know what I'm saying? And then from there, you know, we started growing. We moved to the Times Square area.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? And then I really, really elevated there. Like, you know, opened up 3 different rooms. in a nice business building, and it was
No. We
it
gotta level up.
We definitely elevated. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's a beautiful thing. How many? So this was everything: recording, mixing,
Everything. Yeah.
You could make an album.
Yep.
So you wasn't messing around. You was doing real shit.
It was a full blown studio. We had producers in there, mixers, engineers.
No, that's fire. Let's talk about the prank. And if you don't know what I'm talking about,
Oh boy.
go to YouTube. It's there. It's public information.
I can't even. I've been trying to take that video down and I can't because I'm locked out of my YouTube account. You know what I'm saying?
Sorry, man, but it's there.
Nah, it's there. You punching my name and
It comes right up.
yeah. So that
I don't know how many views it got now.
I don't even know, bro.
You're not even getting no bank over this shit, man.
I know. It's crazy. It's crazy, but yeah, I'm definitely trying to get somebody in YouTube to give me my account back because before they merged with Google, they were separate. They were YouTube.
Okay.
Then they merged.
Yeah, they merged.
Then when I got locked up, I got locked out of my. It was a whole shit.
Still, you locked up from back then?
Yeah. Because
Damn.
bro, I had that account when YouTube first started. I was way ahead of the curve with this shit.
No, I could tell.
Yeah, I was way ahead. Like
13, you thinking about fucking.
Yeah,
you different.
So
nigga.
like, even when you look at the dates on the videos, you're like, damn, this video's uploaded in what year? You know what I'm saying? And yeah, but those pranks were crazy. But that was all pun inspired, man. Like he inspired all those things, and we just.
I heard he was a fucking super prankster, bro.
Yeah, we just took it and ran with it. You know what I'm saying? But these are things now that people are doing now, and they're getting indicted for that shit now. Like we was doing this 20, 30 years ago, bro, when it was just wreck. And, we were having a good time. And, I was made sure, like, I always knew all camps and all parties involved that came to my studio. A lot of the other dudes really didn't know each other, but they had the respect for me.
Yeah.
So I would just amp it up. You know what I mean? So for the prank that you saw that you talking about.
Yeah.
That prank took about 2 hours to pull off because those 2 hours I kept amping both sides up. Like, yo, son, he ain't
That shit could have went left.
It could have went left, but I made sure that none of them, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They was moving right. So yeah, it could have moved left.
So you was doing it, but like, okay, I gotta be careful because they might fight for real. They might pull out real guns. Like, make sure nobody's really strapped. So
Yeah. So for those whole 2 hours, I'm like, yo, son ain't no slouch, bro. You stop looking at him like that, B. Like, and these niggas is like, but the two shooters,
yeah,
obviously they knew because they both, you know what I'm saying?
100%.
They both, but the crew didn't know.
Yeah.
So I was going to the crew like, yo, tell your man to chill, bro. Like, we not doing that here, bro. And,
that's fucking hilarious.
And dudes were like, yo, Dren, I tell your man to chill. Niggas ain't pussy over here. And I'm like, yo, he got the joint on him. He was like, it's not for all that. I'm like, I'm telling you, bro. Like, and for like 2 hours, I'm just doing this, like throwing little puños, like boom, 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 boom.
Hilarious.
And then when they pulled out on each other, pause, it just sound crazy. They letting them things go off. And I got to give it to my man Fonz, bro. My man Fonz, real one. Because, the average dude, you see a hammer come out.
You running.
That hammer come out, he stood up in front of it.
Both of them.
He stood up, his man pulled one out, the other one pulled, and it was like this, across from each other. They both pointing like this. And I'm laughing already because I already know I couldn't help myself. I already know it was about but shout out to my man Fonz, bro. He stood up, but once they started ringing off, he threw his ass right on that futon. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't that dumb. But he didn't run. He stood up to it. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yo, shorty, put that. We're not doing that.
Yeah.
But,
so he tried to do the thing, but it didn't work out.
Yeah, it didn't work
out. But God, thank God it was a prank.
Yeah.
Where do you go from there? As far as from the studios to the internship, or is it happening at the same time?
A lot of it was happening at the same time. I started interning first, way before the studio game. You know what I'm saying? When I was doing the DJ thing. I used to intern at Loud RCA at the time. That was one of the biggest labels.
Hell yeah, legendary.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Loud is big pun.
Yeah, exactly.
Wu-Tang, Mobb
Deep, Alcoholics.
Wow.
That era. You know what I'm saying?
Legendary.
Yeah.
The times that it's not even on my list. What do you think about hip hop right now, bro?
It's a crazy state, man. It's a crazy state. This is I call it the new YoungBoy era, bro. Like, our cloth is different. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing against them. Mm-hmm. But this new shit and this drill shit, I'm not with it.
That's what I don't like. I'm not with it. Even now, they just figured out the Mo 3 thing, you know, the rapper that got killed on the highway. Like they beefing too fast.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Y'all both broke.
Yeah.
Like, not saying I don't want y'all to beef at all. Can we just get some money?
Yeah.
Y'all killing each other and y'all not even popping off yet. Y'all just got a couple of hits. Maybe 1 or 2 hit the radio, but now y'all in jail. You know, like with the K Flock thing. That kid had a future, bro.
Yeah. Listen, between that and social media, it's a dangerous game, bro, because from the era we came from, like, you know, back then when dudes was really beefing, they was really beefing, and it was on site. Now it's like you beefing, it's on site, and then somebody's doing this, and the indictments come in. It's like, bro, you gave them the whole case.
No, speaking of cameras, bro, your man True Life, from Elias, by the way.
Yeah, facts.
Yo, he was on that camera shit heavy. He gave no fucks.
Yeah. Listen.
Your man was eating cereal with champagne. His man was in the background letting off on I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now? But that was, you know, that was the
DVD. That was the beef DVD.
That was there because him and Jim Jones had their issues. You know, they squashed it eventually, thank God. But and actually, the club where he had his situation with True Life, it was I think it was Carbons on 56 or 55th.
Yeah,
right on the West Side Highway. And I used to go there, and I think I was there a week before, a week after, and I'm like, damn, bro, because that was one of us, man. That was one of our, you know, that's another thing. Random thought. Why is Pun, even before or after, no one else has that platinum? Forget about the platinum status. It means something, obviously, but we don't have, bro, like Pun is it.
This
Alcoholics, obviously, you know. We got some names, but
nobody ever got that status ever. You know what I'm saying? And
he was so fired,
and
bro.
It bothers me because, like, you know, we've been in this game. We're valid. We're cemented. You know, we're a part of hip hop. So for Pun to be the only one to really like cause that type of havoc and
50 years
and create that, you know what I'm saying? Like, again, look, we just made 50 years of hip hop.
There's only one.
There should be like 8 or 9 of them, and there isn't. You know what I'm saying? So like, that, you know, when it comes to Latinos and hip hop, bro, there's like a fucking gate there, bro, and it's like,
oh, you believe in that?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm part of it. Like,
wow.
I'm part of it. Like, I've been in these meetings and I've been in situations where, like, you know, we just get overlooked, and it's like we got to violate for people to take us serious. It's not until we violate and get disrespectful when they're like, oh, okay, like.
So you believe, maybe not today, talking about the history of hip hop, you believe that they want to see black is hip hop to the culture?
I mean, I believe it because if it wasn't, we can't argue with history, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I just said, there should be 8 or 9 puns. You know what I'm saying? There should be at least 10 Latino rappers that was popping, like that put on for the culture. Who we got? Pun, Joe, like who else?
Alcoholics, you know.
I mean, you know, but they not even relevant.
Yeah.
You know, Pun is not here. Joe's still here. He's the only one that's.
That nigga don't stop, bro.
Yeah, he's the only one that's active.
What do you think about? What do you think about his?
You know what I'm saying? His run is crazy.
It's crazy. He don't stop.
You know what I'm saying? And
when they kicked him off that label, he was like, oh, thanks.
Yeah, and then now, you know, you could go independent because you gotta, you know, you bro, you have a name, so it's a no-brainer. Mm-hmm. But like the fact that there's not
more of us
is what the fuck is going on? Like, why? You know what I'm saying?
That's horrible. But let's talk about your management side. 'Cause a lot of people don't talk about these things. You know, you've had many. My favorite. I'm not gonna say my favorite rapper. I'm gonna say top 5. Ghostface.
Yeah.
The to me, you know, obviously Method Man was the first one to get the blessings, and then, but when him and Raekwon did the Purple Tape, and then he did his own, you know, Iron Fist, bro, it's like he is different, bro.
Yeah, nah, man.
What was that like? Just managing him.
That experience was life changing for me, and like he was the first one that I got to travel the world with. You know what I'm saying? So like when I started doing that, he's the first one that put me on a tour bus. You know what I'm saying? So like that whole experience, like, you know, he gave me a shot, man, and it was, you know, I'll never forget him. You know what I'm saying? I'll never forget him because.
So so you had. I'm not gonna say lower rappers, but you had smaller rappers.
Yeah, I had other artists that I was managing at the time, but you know when that opportunity came,
that's Wu-Tang.
Like, that's come on, it's a W. He's legendary. He's an icon.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
All of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
They all got that same umbrella.
Yeah.
Some are more famous than others. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Method Man's number 1.
Yeah.
He's taken it to acting. He's taken it further, but the ones that know, the ones that love hip hop, they respect the entire Wu.
Yeah. And he you know what? And I tell people a lot, this game is fake. The way the facade, the persona these people put on, the whole, like, Ghost is one-on-one, bro. Like, he's my brother. I call him, he picks up. I need him on the pod. Yo, pull up. It's nothing, no issues, no. Like, you don't get that now in this generation. Everything is so fast-fed.
What are you gonna do for me? Like that type of shit.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And then somebody like that to just, like, still act the same 30 years later and still valid.
Because you're not managing him no more.
No.
So he could be like, nigga, we done with our business.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
We recognize real though, bro.
Yeah, for real.
And how many was that your last like run with the management? And then you got into other things?
Yeah, I that was my last major run with it. Now it's crazy now because, you know, I do these pods and interviews and I got so many things going on with Rock and Deuce. Like, a lot of people trying to pull me back in because they see me now. Like, oh, he's back. You know what I'm saying? After I did my bit, I went away for a little while. You know how that shit's out of sight, out of mind.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? But I keep that in my forefront 24/7. Anytime I speak to anybody, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially if I knew you from back then, I'm on a different type of time with you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Don't hit me up because, you know, I'm buzzing and I got something good. Like, where you was at when I was away. Now that I could do something for you, you want to reach out? Nah, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? But, like, new people that I meet, of course, I don't got nothing to do with my situation.
100%.
I put myself in that situation. You know what I'm saying? So now, all the opportunities that I get now, I weigh them on a scale. Like, is this worth it? Is it not? Because there's a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? And I know what I could bring to the table. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of new artists now, a lot of new acts now, they need people like me, people like the Shampoos, people that been in this industry for years because we know everybody. So it's a lot easier if I walk in a project or one of my mans walk in a project because we have a name, we valid, versus somebody else just hustling their music, talking about, yo, listen to my demo, or, you know what I'm saying? Come to my...
They'll definitely take the meeting.
Yeah.
They'll take the Dren Starr meeting ASAP. And then let's talk about the talent. What can we do with this? And then
Exactly.
Does it work out for my brand, for my,
Yeah,
Universal, whoever?
You know what it is? I've been doing this for so long, bro. I'm not trying to babysit nobody. And, you know, this music industry, these artists, they're like kids. You got to babysit them. You got to hold their hand. You got to...
I'm not going to go to the studio. You got to get in the studio.
Then the entourages, then the crews, then this. I'm not with all that, bro. Like,
then the indictments.
Thank you. That part. I've been there and done that.
We're not doing that shit.
You know what I'm saying? And that got me jammed up. That got me in a situation.
I heard... You know, let's get into that because you brought it up a couple of times. But before we talk about you getting locked up, I want people to understand the reason why you got locked up. Because it was a different time.
Yeah.
People were getting robbed, but whoever wanted to wear their jewelry, they were going to wear their fucking jewelry.
Yep.
Case in point. You didn't give a fuck. I'm wearing my jewelry.
Yep.
And he wasn't this he was 150 solid.
Word.
Check out that pun interview. Check out the pun interview. That skinny guy, that's him.
Word.
So explain, before we get to the arrest, let's talk about what led up to that and what led to the maybe the paranoia, maybe the keeping it real, whatever you want to call it, but let the people know that what happened in the situation that when you got attacked.
All right, yeah, it was two situations. Like, one, you know, when I moved the studio from the lower, I had moved to my new spot was 30th Street, and then after 30th Street, the other spot was Times Square. But the situation that happened was on 30th Street. Okay. You know what I'm saying? My studio was in a building. It was an office building. It was an all music building. You know, there was several studios in the building. Mine wasn't the only one. But downstairs from the studio was a nightclub. I forget the name of the nightclub. And it must have been like 3-something in the morning. You know what I'm saying? I had just finished walking some artists downstairs to the car. And I was walking back into the studio, back into the building. And, you know, right before the elevator was closing, you know, dudes was like, yo, where the... And it used to happen a lot, but, you know, they lined me up. I just wasn't, you know, I was drinking the shit. I wasn't on point like I should have been.
Yeah.
They called me lacking. Everybody gets called lacking. You know what I'm saying? So they're like, yo, where's the spot at? It was in the same building. And I'm telling them, yo, it's next door. So like 3 or 4 of them, like, all right, good looking. 3 or 4 of them, you know, they spin off. So as the elevator doors closing, homie pulls out the hammer on me. Boom. Dead to my face, bro. I never, this day I would never forget it, because an hour before that, that's crazy. Hour before that, my baby mom's calls me at like 2 something in the morning, studio. Yo, you all right? I'm like, yeah, what happened? You bugging? Like, she goes, nigga, you good? You sure? I just had a dream you got shot in your head.
Damn.
I'm like, what? I'm like, yo, you bugging. Go back to sleep. An hour later, I got a gun pointed to my face. So this phone call is playing while this nigga got the hammer in front of my face. And I'm like, nah, we're not doing this. Like, my BM just called me telling me, like, this is
crazy,
great. Bro, it's crazy.
We just finished talking about spirituality yesterday.
Bro, it was wild, bro, when I tell you. You know what I'm saying? And, long story short, we started scuffling, boom, boom. I got pistol whipped a few times. I got robbed. And because of the pranks I used to play, when I went upstairs to the studio, I had a white T-shirt on. It was all red.
For the blood, yeah.
Because I was leaking. These niggas thought I was pranking them. They're like, yo, you playing too much, bro.
Nigga went to get applesauce,
they didn't believe
tomato
me.
sauce or some shit.
Yo, bro, they did not believe me.
Oh, damn.
And when I was talking to them, I had passed out on the floor.
Oh, damn.
And they're like, yo, bro, you taking this prank shit to the next level. And I'm telling them, bro, I'm not joking, bro. Like, I just got robbed in front of the studio, bro. Real talk.
Because that shit don't happen.
You know what I'm saying?
Thought it, we thought it happens, but obviously.
Exactly, you know what I'm saying? And then, once the police and EMS came, they're like, oh, this shit is serious, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that was that situation. You know
and then, so let's leave. So now, my guy's paranoid. It's not happening again.
Exactly.
So this is, no, let's talk about that's obviously that's what led to the arrest.
So, so now, obviously I'm walking around, with the hammer on me. Again, I'm in the music business. I'm not in the streets. I'm not selling drugs. I'm not doing all that crazy shit. I try to get a pistol license, but in New York City don't play that. Like they're not giving carry.
You gotta
license.
go upstate. You gotta go upstate.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. If you're not a cop, police, or you don't own a check cashing business, something, it's quiet for you. They don't care what kind of bank statements you giving them. They don't care what type of business owner. They just don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying. So I try to go about it the right way. Obviously, I didn't get approved. And, I ran around with shit on me 24/7. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was in the game. At the time, there was a lot of beefs between crews and all of that. I was dead smack in the middle of that. So, I had to help. I had to do what I had to do. I had to hold it down, and, I got caught with it. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what's crazy, bro? I've had a gun on me so many times. Because back then, we all had guns.
Yeah, exactly. It was like a JanSport. I used to tell people,
bro.
You put your backpack on, you put your shit on your hip, and you go about your day.
Bro, this one time I almost got locked up. Right, I used to live by Parchester, and I would take. I didn't want to take a cab. See, this is how hood smart we were. Mm-hmm. Lesson: if you got a gun, don't take a cab. It's not a good idea.
Word.
So I already knew because I had heard many stories of the cops pulling the cab over. Mm-hmm. Then you got the whatever. So I was like, I'm gonna take the bus. So that's what I would do. I would, because where I lived and where I hung out was different.
Yeah.
So going back to my block and going back home, I had the hammer on me, right? Mm-hmm. So there's one time I get off, I take the 4 bus down Westchester, get off on Wheeler to get a haircut. And I'm crossing the street and the fucking, the unmarked, I got the hood on like a dumbass, make it even hotter. Black hoodie, champion, of course. Hello.
Yep.
And I got the hood on. Bro, I crossed it, Wheeler goes towards the Bruckner. I'm crossing, and they pretty much. I'm crossing, and they have. I'm waiting for them to pass so I could cross. When they cross, the driver's dead in my face. The cop is dead in my face, undercover, and he just kept going. And I'm like, nigga. I walked. I didn't walk. I didn't run. I just walked. The barbershop was like 3 storefronts, bro. Once I got to where he couldn't see me, I ran in the barbershop. Took it off. I took the hammer off.
Tossed that shit.
I tossed it in the garbage, but not in the garbage. I took the bag out, put it in. I was smooth with this shit.
Yeah.
We was good back in the days. I took the bag out, put it in the garbage, then put the bag on. So if they look in the garbage,
it's not there.
But they never came.
It's covered by
they never came. But it was a couple other times. But that was the most scariest. Bro, that would and for nothing. Why are we carrying a gun for? I had no beef.
Yeah.
But it was just, bro. It was like everyone. We all had guns.
Yeah.
Because if your uncle didn't have it and he gave it to you, your father had a gun. Somebody, it was just easy access.
It was. Yeah. Listen, it was part of the culture, bro. It
100%.
was part of the culture.
How many times Prodigy got caught with a gun? Yo, God bless Prodigy for Mobb Deep. He got caught with a gun so many times. If you read his book, he explains why.
Yeah, I got caught twice, bro. Yeah.
Wow.
I got probation for the first one. Again, I got a slap on the wrist because I thought.
Oh, when they saw you again, they said, "Oh, you didn't
yeah,
learn."
this is your MO.
So what they gave you,
bro?
7?
I got a 7 flat.
7 flat.
Yeah, and I could have got another 7 for the first one, but
they looked out.
Hell yeah, they looked out. You know
So wait, so that, and now it's fed. Back then it was state.
No, it's still state. I mean, it depends if you know it's only feds if you're doing state lines and all of that type of traffic and stuff. But yeah, I was in the state. I wasn't in the feds.
And we only bring up the arrests because we're not glorifying it, but it doesn't mean it's the end. You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely not. Like, you know, I tell people this all the time, and you know, a lot of people think I'm from, but you know, it's part of my story, and it made me who I am. Because if that didn't happen to me, I was out here bugging out, B.
Papa, they'll put you on time.
Yeah. So
that's what Grandma would have said.
Yeah, he definitely
sit down.
He definitely blessed me, and you know, he had to park me for a minute so I could really, you know, collect my blessings and come out and start fresh. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's a fact. Let's talk about the what was the bit sweet? Or the LES thing?
It was man. You know what? I was very blessed, brother. Like that's one thing.
Because everybody, that's the first thing. Oh, you can.
I'm not even gonna front. Like the bit for me, it was sweet because I didn't get into no shit, and I knew how to carry myself, and I had. That's
what we were saying earlier. Know how to carry yourself.
Yeah, and I had tremendous support. You know what I'm saying? There's dudes that go in and out. I wasn't one of those. You know what I'm saying? So when I did my time, you know, I did a lot of time in the law library. I educated myself. You know what I'm saying? I went to college. I got my college credits up, and I just came out there mastermind, a whole new person. You know what I'm saying? I grew a whole love for this law thing. Now I understand the language because law is a language. If you don't understand that.
Did it change the way you communicate,
bro? Absolutely.
Because you know we got that hood 90s talk. You know what I mean?
But you know we like hood niggas like us is dangerous when you get those type of weapons.
You give us both. Now we got street and we got book.
You know what I'm saying? So like once I came home and I started exercising all the things I learned, even when I was inside, like dudes was going to the box and all of that, I was beating their tier 3 tickets. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's fine.
Yeah. So you know I was already practicing my law shit when I was in there to see if it really works. You know what I'm saying? So once I started getting results, and you know, a lot of the dudes that I was with, and they would get them tickets. Damn, bro, I gotta go to the box for 3 months. Yo, Dren, what you think you could do with this? And I had my own typewriter and all that. You heard?
Oh, fire!
So I used
to
read the tickets they used to get.
And that report from the CO got to be perfect.
And it got to be perfect.
One mistake, you could beat it.
If you mess up the chain of custody, you know, I had to pluck all that shit out. You know what I'm saying? Fighting
maybe
for them.
3 months turn into a month.
Yeah, they should throw them shits right out.
Oh,
they should throw them shits right out.
So they ain't like you.
They ain't like me. Then you know they got word that I was beating these tickets, and you know they raided my cell, took my typewriter from me, you know, shit like that. You know, what I mean?
No hating shit. They don't want us to help each other.
But it's something that I you know I had to learn. I'm glad I did, because now you look at life differently. Like a lot of people now, when they catch cases, it be too late. They don't learn about law till they wind up in the courtroom. When you wind up in the courtroom, it's too late to learn what's about to happen to your life, bro. You know what I'm saying? You hire a lawyer, you give him all this money, everything is in his hands. And you don't even know what he's doing.
You can't even talk.
You can't, nothing. You know what I'm saying? So like if you don't know what's going on, he could railroad you, bro.
They know each other.
Yeah, they all know each other.
They all know each other.
They all in cahoots with each other.
If you go to 161, we're going to say 161 because that's where I'm from. I don't know what, I think the Tombs will be your
downtown, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
107th Street. I've been there.
Yep. We all been there.
It's pretty nice. It's much better. It's much better than 161. I will say that.
I'm sure it is.
But so, bro, they all know each other. If you go to 161, lawyer, all storefronts, lawyer. They all know the DA. They all know the prosecutors.
Bro, I just had on my show. I'll send it to you after this. I had a former judge.
That's fine.
Prosecutor. And now private attorney. He wore all 3 hats, bro.
Hell yeah.
And when he says that,
it's real.
There's nothing to talk about. You know what I'm saying? The fact that I could have a conversation with a judge and we could speak to each other and speak the same language, he was bugging off of me. Like, damn, bro, like, you learned all this in prison? I said, that's a fact.
That's the timeout. The timeout helped.
You know what I'm saying?
And not only that, they'll probably do favors to each other.
They all do. It's all relationships.
They be like, yo, how about this? Give Dren, come on. But yo, I just looked out for Abby fucking 2 weeks ago. Come on, man.
Yeah.
But yo, this is my brother too. Yo, look out for Dren. All right, how about this? The next one, I got to send him up.
That's how it works.
So the prosecutor just did you 2 favors.
Word.
He gave two of your people probation or whatever.
Yeah.
But now the next one he got to go because my numbers are off now.
Yeah.
Bro, and that's just it's sad, but hey, it is what it is.
That's
But
how it
that's
works.
and let me tell you something. Another personal page from my life. 2009. Check this out, and you're gonna feel it. October 11th, 2009. The last time I had handcuffs on my wrist because that's the last case I caught.
Nice.
Aggressive. Nice.
Listen, I called my bid in 2010, so I was a year right after you.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
So it was a rumble, obviously. So they called it gang related.
It's more than it's.
Bro, what do you mean gang related? We all fighting.
It's crazy. Yeah.
So that was a charge. That was a felony charge. Gang, assault. Obviously, like 3 or 4 or 5 assaults. Like you said, why are there 9 charges? No, it was 11. Because when I was trying to get a lawyer, he's talking this language like you said. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Yeah.
I'm like, why are there 11 fucking assault? It's 1 assault. Oh, no. It's 11. Nigga broke down 11 assault 1, 2, 3, gang 3, 4, 5, 8. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, that's how wicked it is.
No,
bro.
so obviously I didn't that shit got dismissed. They had 6 months to figure it out. One of us went down, unfortunately, but we all faced it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And my man, he caught the probation, and thank God he didn't get sent up or nothing. But those 6 months, and you did you fight your case?
Hell yeah, bro. I went to trial. I had 2 hung juries, bro. I went to trial crazy.
Damn. So you know the feeling.
I was fighting.
I didn't even get indicted. I was just going to court. But those 6 months.
Oh no,
bro,
nerve wracking. Every month you don't know what's going to happen, what they're going to do, what they're going to do.
Yeah, you forget about it. And let's say your court date is the 23rd, right? You good until the 19th.
Yeah.
Now that's fuck. I gotta go to court. Yo, what you doing on Tuesday? Oh, I gotta go to fucking court, man. It don't matter if you just got ass. It don't matter how much money you got in your pocket. Tuesday is a fuck. I gotta go to court.
Yeah, mine was worse because my first trial.
Let's talk about that.
Mine was worse because my first trial, I never been to trial before. You know, they made me offer, and again, I'm not.
It was crazy. What was the number?
The offer was like the lowest they went was like 3. You know what I'm saying?
Oh damn!
And I kept telling my lawyer, bro, I'm not going away. There's nothing to talk about. We going all the way with this. You know what I'm saying? Don't give me no offers. That's not even the equation. You already got paid. I'm going to trial all the way.
Let's do it.
But under the law, he got to tell you what the offer is.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, the trial lasted like 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Suiting up every day, going to court. My fucking is in knots. My stomach is turning in knots. Being there every day from 9, leaving at 5, having these people tell a story. The jury's there, bro. I'm bugging. Like I'm numb. I'm bugging. Long story short, it was a hung jury. So what a hung jury is when the jury can't come up with a verdict, either guilty or not guilty. You know what I'm saying? Some of them are not agreeing with each other. So some of them are saying not guilty.
Yep.
Some of them are saying guilty. So my first trial went like that. And then, they were hung again. And then now the judge tell them, listen, you promised me you're going to come with a verdict. I need you to go back to the room, figure this out. They went back to the room to try to figure it out. They still came back hung. So when it comes hung twice, the judge has to stop the case. And they got to do it all over again from scratch.
Damn.
So when that happened, I'm back on tour. I'm on the road. 6 months later, I'm thinking my lawyer's trying to get me. Because, again, I didn't understand law.
Yeah.
So he calls me. He's like, yo, you got to come back to New York next week. The trial's starting again. I said, what are you talking about, bro? We finished that shit. He goes, no. You had a hung jury. The only way this case is over is that there's a solid verdict, either guilty or not guilty.
Damn.
When they're hung, the prosecutor could keep going.
Or throw out the case.
Or throw it out.
Which they don't want that.
And they didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, damn, bro, all right, let's do it again. So the second time around, I was a little bit more calm because I watched my movie play out.
Yeah.
So I already knew what was going to be said. I wasn't as shocked as I was Because the first trial, you never been on trial before, right?
No, I don't want to.
So you never know what they're gonna say about you.
I seen Law and Order.
Yeah, see that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? But this is not TV. This is real life.
Yeah.
So, but that's a good example because that's when you find out what they're saying about you.
Mm-hmm.
So, once I heard it in the first trial, I'm like, the second trial is gonna be a walk in the park. There's nothing they're gonna say that I haven't heard already. I'm good.
Yeah.
And that's when I got railroaded, bro. They smoked me on that one. They still came hung again.
And I'm gonna tell you what happened.
Go ahead.
They got tired.
That's exactly what happened. It was
They got tired.
bro. It was a Friday.
It happened to my mom's.
Yeah, it was. I'll never forget it. It was a Friday. They were hung. My lawyer was happy. He goes, "We did it again, bro." He goes, "As long as we keep hanging it, eventually they'll get tired and just won't prosecute." But it was a Friday at 4:30. They were hung. They were hung at 4:20. So the judge got to send, give his little speech, go back in the room, keep on deliberating,
figure it out.
10 minutes later, they figured it out. But this time they have a verdict.
Damn.
My lawyer told me this is not good. I said, what do you mean? He goes, I've been doing this a very long time. Just be ready. His experience is talking. I'm like, yo, bro, you bugging. Like, he goes, no, they have a solid verdict, bro. 10 minutes ago, they were just hung. So now it's a solid verdict.
This is his life,
This is his life. So they came with the guilty verdict. And I was like, wow. Because they didn't want to come back on Monday. And court ends at 5. And it was already 4:30, 4:45. So, they, I already got their life for 2 weeks. You go to jury duty. I don't know what they give them, $30 a day or some shit.
Yeah.
So you got 12 people that are getting paid $30 a day to listen to my life and my story. You know what I'm saying?
That happened to my mom's, bro. My mom's was on jury duty for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And she was saying that they were just tired.
Yeah.
So they did the not. I don't know. I think it was not guilty or whatever. And it was like 2 people that were on the guilty side, and they came to the not guilty just to go home.
Yeah.
And
it's whack.
for that brother, it worked out, but it could have been like in your case.
Yeah. And I don't want to sound repetitive, but I say this in a lot of my interviews. Like, people like us, Latinos from the culture, don't throw those jury notices out, bro.
Hell no.
Because people like us is what saves the situation. You know what I'm saying? I had a girl that I picked, a Puerto Rican girl, I'll never forget, from the Bronx. And it's crazy because, when you go to trial in your borough, it's got to be people that live in that borough.
Yep. Your county.
She had a Manhattan ID, but she lived in the Bronx with her parents. Long story short, my lawyer was like, why you want to pick her? I said, bro, she's Puerto Rican. She's from the hood. You could tell the way she comes in here. She's going to understand how we give it up.
Yep.
All these other people are white. They don't understand the culture. They don't understand how we live. He goes, but she wants to be a cop, so she's going to side with law enforcement. I said, my sister's a cop, and my sister's going to testify for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I had to call my sister to the precinct to get on my property. Mm-hmm. So I said, once she sees my sister take the stand, he goes, oh, you know what? That's a good one. I didn't think about that. Mm-hmm. But long story short, she hung the jury the first time.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? And we became cool. And, the way the universe works is crazy because when I did my bid, she didn't know I had a retrial. She had ran into my cousin and just randomly just started having a conversation about a trial that she was on.
That's crazy.
So she's talking to my cousin so my cousin's like, yo, hold on, what's this nigga's name? Or what did he look like? She goes, yeah, but whatever. He's not locked up because I hung the jury. He's good. She goes, no, like my head's standing right now. It's crazy. She goes, no, but describe him to me, please. And she goes, yo, you was on my cousin's trial. Yeah, he just blew trial like 2 months ago. She goes, how? And, my cousin had to tell her, yo, they retried him again 6 months later. And then so me and her became pen pals and shit like that. She just writing me, you know what I mean? It was dope. And I told her, you know what I'm saying? I said, listen, you wanted to be a cop. So just remember that anytime you put them handcuffs on somebody, you're going to change their whole life. So don't be locking niggas up for bullshit and no reason. Because as you see, I was in the courtroom fighting for my life because a cop decided to put handcuffs on me. I didn't even do nothing. There was no victims. I didn't shoot nobody. There was no, I was holding myself down.
No brandishing, no
nothing. You know what I'm saying? It was just pure hate. Them searching the truck and them, you know what I'm saying? Them doing what they do.
So you couldn't beat it with a legal search? Or that's a whole different process?
Bro, I went all the way to the Supreme Court on my appeals. I was winning because the
from jail, by the way.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. But I beat the charge before that. We'll speak off camera. But yeah, so once I beat that, they weren't even supposed to search the truck to begin with.
Wow.
Because they found me not guilty for the other shit.
Mm-hmm.
So once they found me not guilty for that, they wasn't even supposed to search anything, because that's what started it all. You know what I'm saying? But this is the way. These are the things you learn, bro. This is the way life happens.
And we're gonna get off this topic, but we went down this road, like I said, to send a message that ambassador, baby, like he's here, and that helped him out. You know, like you said, you was the next robbery, or you would have killed somebody maybe for trying to rob you, so it would have been worse. So
it's a lose-lose. I tell people all the time, like, I mean, even you said it, you was running around with a gun. At the end of the day, it's a lose-lose. Either you get caught with it, you're gonna do time, or if you use it, you're gonna do time. So, but people don't think about that. You know what I'm saying? The way I was running around back then, it was like, you know, it was till I was in there. I'm like, it's a lose-lose, bro.
And you know what's crazy? Check out what happened. Once my case got dismissed in 2009, I met my ex, well, she's my ex now, but I met my son's mom. My son's 13, God bless him. And I met her. And she was like, you know, she was from the hood, but she kind of like set me straight. Like, and I was doing dumb shit, drinking, smoking,
all of us,
stupid shit.
Yeah, dumb shit. Yeah.
So I found the love of my life because from that susto.
Yeah, you got you. Yeah,
No, I got that's still
scared
scared straight.
straight. Yeah,
scared straight is real. Going to court for 6 months is real.
Yeah.
So I met my lady. So I think everything happened for a reason, bro.
Absolutely.
I had like 3 guns, bro. I had one in my house. My man, you know, you got to spread them out. You know,
you can't keep them all. Yeah,
I call, keep that. Keep that.
Yeah, you always gotta have on deck.
By the way, send Dren to go get the one in my house. Keep that too.
Word.
I got all that shit out of my house because I said, you know what? Number one, I had a stepdaughter. She was 7. We don't want that. Mm-hmm. That's a nightmare. So I've never carried a gun. I've never, and I don't want it because that's negative energy.
Yep.
And I get we need to protect ourselves thing, but don't put yourself in a situation.
Exactly.
Go to work, bro. Podcast. I go to my real job. I go to my family stuff. I'm out the streets.
Chill out.
When I go drinking, I go like Cheers, where they know my name.
We all had our run, brother.
You know
what I'm saying? And we're blessed to be here. And
we all learned.
And there's people our age that are no longer here. You know what I'm saying? So every day I wake up, I'm alive. This is a blessing. Doing this is a blessing, brother. You know what I'm saying? Because we made it.
We made it, man. Thank you for being here, by the way. I'm gonna tell you 4 more times. What's your relationship with the girl that you've been posting? The Honey Baby. Yeah,
she's dope, man. She's new.
This week I saw you with her.
Yeah. I was running around the city with her. She's a dope artist. She's signed to Warner Records. You know what I'm saying? She's up and coming. She's popping. She's on tour now with St. John.
Fire.
And I'm very, very tight with her management team.
Oh, so you're just helping out?
Yeah. So I just supported. You know what I'm saying? I supported. And again, this whole game is relationships, bro. You know what I'm saying?
You ain't lying.
You know, I reached out to her team one time. I like to have her on the show. They brought her on the show. No reschedule, no nothing. All right, Dren, what time? Let's do it. Boom, we're there. So it's only right that I give the love back and support. You know what I'm saying?
And then you got relationships that you're not gonna gatekeep. You know what
exactly.
I'm saying? My man, because if y'all know what we're talking about, she sings touching on me. Yeah. Fire. Nice track. Yep. Let's talk about we gotta talk about the Duce. How did that come about? Is that just a hustle in you?
Duce started out as a hustle in me because when I came home, I didn't want to do the music thing anymore. I was good. So I'm like, what can I do that's close or similar and still be in the same rooms, but not with the babysitting shit. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So, I was doing it. I was pushing it. It was a dope brand. Of course, it's Jay-Z's brand, Rock Nation behind it.
It still is?
Still is, yeah.
I thought he sold something.
He has a partnership with Bacardi.
Okay.
So he just sold them more shares of it.
But, okay, that's what it was.
He still has ownership in it.
Us regular people, we don't understand the language.
Yeah. So it's co-owned by Rock Nation and Bacardi.
Nice.
And it's just a dope brand. You know what I'm saying? And once I started moving and doing what I do, they saw what I was doing.
Relations, obviously.
Same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Because is it all tied in?
Yeah.
it's not even about the music anymore. Like the same people have different jobs. Like
Exactly. Everybody elevated, bro.
and move around. Like the CEOs of Def Jam are now in YouTube, and some over here. Some,
Yes.
Or they might be in Duce, or they might.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these companies, they want that experience.
Yeah, it's like you just said. Perfect example. Leo Cohen was running Def Jam. Now he's running YouTube Music and 300.
That's fire. And he did that before YouTube was popping.
Yeah.
So look at that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
All these people are smart, bro.
Yeah.
You know Sean Pecas.
Of course.
Bro, I played softball with him, and same thing. He went from Def Jam. He went over here. I think now he's with
I think he's with CAA.
Yeah, he's with I think it was he was a CC or D Wade. I don't know if it's the same thing. I think that's D Wade.
Yeah, but he from, if I'm not mistaken, he's with a CAA's agency, sports agency, marketing agency, something like that.
But he's the same thing. He's come down from that cloth.
Yes,
just like you.
I remember him at G Street. I remember where he was moving and grooving. He used to be at Rock too for a little while.
He's from my hood, so
yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, we used to play. We too old. He might still play. I don't know. He's a lefty, so we had a team called the Green Gorillas.
Okay,
my cousin Jason had that team, softball team, and then he started his own Rock Nation team. We used to play in Central Park versus Diddy. You know, he'll get a Bad Boy.
I remember them shits. Yeah, I remember some shit.
We was there, bro. Pecas is my brother, man. He's a good dude. We gotta show love to Noriega and to Eric and Mike. Did Mike tell you I gave him back his name?
No.
So you're gonna remember this because he was walking around these podcasts. Michael Rodriguez. I will send you the proof.
Okay.
Of that. No, this is a true story. I know he's tired of me saying this. I'm gonna keep saying it.
Listen, if you're responsible for it,
I am responsible.
That's what's up.
He was walking around all these podcasts when his book came out, Michael Rodriguez. I called him Mike Success on this show. And I was like, Michael Rodriguez, also known as Mike Success, he changed his IG. Everything changed like a week later.
Dope.
So I gave him that feeling back, like I am Mike Success. What the fuck? I changed my name.
So you should be tagged on every single
Happy. Hey, I'm just saying. I know.
Mike is my brother, man. Good people.
No. He talks about you in I think you go to him. You go with him sometimes to interviews.
Yeah.
No, he was here. He was on his show. Mike is great. He hit me up when the book came out. Like I said, he hit me up. You and Eric are Elias brothers.
Yeah, facts.
Him and Mike, they matter of fact, I just posted his son, Gavin, and Mike's son just hit a home run. I think in D1.
Yeah. They both doing good with the
bro.
With the baseball.
They are big, bro. They're great dads. You know what I'm saying, and that's a beautiful thing. When Mike was,
man, I fuck with Mike heavy. I love him like a brother.
How'd y'all meet?
We met through his partner that passed away. Bad with names. His partner passed away. I was on a panel, and Mike wasn't there. His partner was on the panel.
Oh, okay.
This was about, I would say, 3 years ago, maybe. About three or 4 years ago, we were on a music panel together, and after that we exchanged contacts, and then he told me he was a part of it was called This Group.
Oh, okay.
And that's how I met Mike through his former partner.
And then good people just
and then
stick together.
Real recognize real, bro. It was one of those real recognize real shit. We both got some age, we both got some history in the game, so it wasn't no.
Nah, he's doing well, man. I'm proud of him.
Yeah, good dude, man.
Nah, great guy. Let's talk about your podcast. My man got a podcast. Coastal Chronicles NYC.
Yes, sir.
I even got that. Now I got the note. Tank Sinatra.
Yeah.
Is he the host?
He's the host.
Okay, because I see you in the cut.
Yeah, he's the host. Listen, I got to give him all his flowers. He hates when I do it because he's very low key, but I got to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah, big him up.
When I came home, this is something that he always wanted to do.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And when I was away, if you knew me, you knew me. You know what I'm saying? Like we was both up north together, and he didn't know anything about me. He didn't know what I did at all. I never spoke about myself. I was just bidding, bro. I was trying to stay off the radar. Long story short, he followed me on the gram and he seen all the shit that I was really into. He was like, "Damn, nigga, you ain't tell me you was into all of that. Like, I ain't even know. Like, you know what I'm saying?" I kept it humble. You know what I'm saying? He was like, "Yo, I want to interview you, bro." I said, all right, cool, let's do it. Where you know what I'm saying? So he was shooting out of his crib. So I did the interview in his crib. You know, it went dope.
Oh, that's him behind the camera?
Yeah.
So before y'all did your own thing y'all together,
That was him.
the one behind the camera that you sitting,
In the gray sofa?
yeah, that's him.
That's him.
That's my nigga. Tank Sinatra.
That's Tank. Yeah, that's
Wow.
Tank. Yeah. So that's
Because y'all have a lot of when we was up north conversations.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that. You see?
That was him, and he always wanted to remain behind the camera.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was his style of doing it. And I said, bro, if we want to do this, we can't do this here, bro. I mean, I'm coming here because I'm your brother.
Yes.
But we can't bring these A-listers and things like that to the crib.
They not coming.
It's the crib, bro. It's where you live. You know what I'm saying? But the idea, the concept, the vision, he had it all.
Yeah.
And then, fast forward, we got the studio, up and running and popping. And now that's where we at. Coastal Chronicles, Dulce Lounge, and the rest is history.
Nah,
that was definitely his idea, though.
No, I love him because Dominican heavy.
Oh yeah. He don't play.
He brings the Dominican out.
The minute he starts his shit. I'll be fucking with him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But yeah, that's my brother. I love him, man.
But no, so I just wanted to big up your podcast. Before we wrap up, I got some questions for you.
Yeah, let's get it.
These are random, by the way.
Okay.
These are called LES questions. So, do you love Cat's Deli?
I fuck with Cat's Deli. Yeah, I got to.
Because you grew up there, right?
Yeah.
That's been 100 years.
You know what's crazy? It's been, you're going to laugh. Now that it's been there 100 years. I probably know about 30 people who work in there. And I could count on one hand if I've been there 3 times.
That was going to be my next question. How many times? But it's your hood.
It's my hood. So we always take advantage of that shit. Like, same thing like Statue of Liberty, Empire State.
We don't go
It's
there.
here. People come from the other side of the world to go to these places. But because we're born and raised here, we don't really take it serious.
No, Cat's Deli is amazing, bro. I love it.
And the line is always around the corner. I just bug out.
No. I got a trick. I work in the city. I go at 11 a.m. In and out. Take my shit and go.
Yeah.
But next question. And you just proved it. How's your memory?
My memory's all right. It depends. I'm horrible with dates and like times and shit like that.
Yeah, I know. That's why I asked you because I heard you say that before.
Yeah. Like when it comes to like dates and times, I'm horrible with that shit. And names sometimes too, you know what I mean?
You just proved it today, but I'm going to ask anyway. Are you always early or you always late?
I'm always on time. Always early. Always early. That's important. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't like people playing with my time. And then when people give me their time, I appreciate it and I respect it. You know what I'm saying?
It's a beautiful thing. Even Frangel, when he pulled up, he was like, "Oh, early one." Because sometimes, bro, sorry, future guests. No, actually, sorry, past guests. A lot of you motherfuckers is late. Just letting you know, and it's okay. We here.
and that's another thing. Me and Mike are serious on. Like when we first met, he invited me. He was like, "Oh, you early?" Like like again in this industry, people just be slacking because they think it's hood, it's hip hop, it's this, it's that. Nah, I don't play that shit.
Let me ask you a question. Would you take a cancellation personal?
No. Things happen.
Okay.
Yeah. Listen, things happen. You know what I'm saying?
Because I'm new to this. So sometimes I'm like, damn, he ain't want to fuck with me?
Nah. Things happen.
Don't take it personal.
Even here, I'm not gonna front. Like when you send me the Addy, I'm like, and people who know me, they know I hate driving. I'm like, oh damn, I gotta leave my comfort zone. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. I'm here.
But this is why I tell people all the time, thank you for your time. You know
yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
you don't get time back. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, none of us, even when I get invited to pods, like I went, we got to give a shout out to the Off Experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Good dudes.
Good
dudes.
Yeah.
I was there last month. Friend Jez went, we both went over there.
Nice.
They
Yeah.
good dudes, man. I went over there and I got some good clips out of that, bro. My daughter, my mom's loved it. Because, you probably used to it now because you've been in the game for a while, but a nigga like me telling his fucking story is like, that shit's weird.
You have to tell it because like you said, your family, they're your family, but there's some shit that they don't even know until you say it.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
No, so mom's just like, I didn't know that. Like,
yeah, facts.
Not supposed to know, ma. It was for a reason.
Uh-huh.
You ain't supposed to know I gave away 3 guns.
Word.
Sorry, ma.
Yeah.
She actually found one day. She was like, what the fuck is this?
Crazy.
I'm like, my bad. But she gave it back.
That's different.
Top 3, and this is, I'm asking him this because his page is lit with vacation spots.
Okay.
Top 3 vacation spots.
Wow.
No order.
Okay, top 3, I would have to say Dubai, Maldives.
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
It's fire.
I'm going to Google it.
Dubai, Maldives, and the third one.
Damn, Maldives.
Damn, what would be the third one? Costa Rica. They got like the little monkeys in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like they was running down on me. I was giving them little bananas and they was jumping around.
Oh, so instead of Dominican dogs on the beach, these are monkeys.
They're little monkeys. Yeah, and they just run around and they swing off the trees and shit.
And they just chilling.
You
in they hood.
Word. Word. I wanted to bring one of the motherfuckers back with me, man. You get locked up and all fines and all types of shit.
100%. That shit there's a bunch of diseases and shit.
Yeah.
If you can only wear one sneaker for the rest of your life, which one would
Air
it be?
Force Ones.
What color?
Whites. Whites.
If you would have said black, I would have been disappointed.
Nah.
I was like, damn. But how about the boot?
Tim's, of course.
Which ones?
New York shit.
Hell yeah. I thought he would be, that's not everyone's answer.
Yeah, it's New York.
From that time.
Exactly.
Last one, and this is going to be difficult.
Okay.
What are you most thankful for?
Oh man, I'm just thankful, man, to just still be present, man, to still be alive, to still be relevant. You know, have brothers like you reach out to hit me up. You know, every time I get one of these opportunities, I never say no. You know what I'm saying? And it just shows growth. You know what I'm saying? It shows that I'm doing what I have to do. You know what I'm saying? And I'm grateful for the haters, man, because if we're not doing the things right, then something is wrong. You know what I'm saying?
I reached out because and I'm going to tell you why I reached out. You showed so much love when I did the mic interview. Mm-hmm. Obviously, because that's your brother, but you were on my page showing me love.
Absolutely,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, because even after I had other guests, he was showing love. Then we started following each other.
Yeah, I'm a support.
And I'm like, yo, why? But why? You know what I'm saying? You don't have to.
And that's rare because I have a rule, and a lot of people bug out off of this, but I'm going to say it on your show. I don't think I said it before. I don't follow people just to follow them. You know what I'm saying? I only follow you if we met in person and we had a real conversation. Because again, I'm old school. So this new era of like following and DMing, and I don't do that. I come from like, yo, I really know that nigga. Mm-hmm. So if I'm following you, like I really know you. Like we had a conversation, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, people just be on this following thing, and then, you know, people run down on me in the street, yo, Dren, what up, boom, boom. And sometimes I'm like, yo, what's good? Like, because you follow me, you really think you know me. And it's weird because it's a window to my life, but I don't know you. You think you know me because of what you see.
Well, I allow you to see.
Exactly.
Because I gotta hit post.
That part. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's just it's a mutual respect. You know what I'm saying? And again, like I support what you're doing. I fuck with it. I'm here, obviously. You know what I'm saying? You family now. Mike is family. So it's like we working, bro. I like to see people working. You know what I'm saying?
And the young lady that we had yesterday said the same thing. She said, because she's a what is it? A mental health counselor, like degrees.
Yeah.
And her husband was like, "Why are you going to his show?" And she said, I might fuck it up, but she said some shit like, because he's working.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to respect it.
You can see that he's moving and grooving.
Yeah. And
bro, if someone that's aligned with hustling, someone that's aligned with, it don't have to be podcasts, it could be anything. They not home fucking playing video games.
Yeah, exactly.
I do sometimes, but I'm just saying they're not wasting their time doing nothing, and then they want to interview.
Yeah, and
like
listen,
bro, and we're not even talking about views.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure you show up to someone that got maybe 50 subscribers. That's not the point. But are you working?
Exactly.
That's all it's about.
And you got a dope situation. And again, I just don't go on every platform. And Mike could tell you this. He bugs out. He'll be like, yo, Dren, the audio was good. I'm like, yeah, bro, because some of these dudes, like, they have a dope situation, but then something be off, and I'm not going to be represented like that. Fix what you got to fix. I shouldn't have to tell you what to fix.
Oh, so you already did the research?
Oh, absolutely.
You went down the rabbit hole already?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you know what I'm saying? And Mike be bugging because, you know, me and him always talk behind the scenes. I'm like, yeah, this one, that one, that one. I said, sometimes they got to fix what they got to fix. We shouldn't have to tell them what to fix, bro. If we have to do that,
this guy has an ear from 1985
exactly
studio in his fucking house. So don't play with this man. And he said something when we came in, and we was talking about a different situation, and he was like, "Nah, their audio's trash."
Yeah,
We ain't gonna mention the names.
Yeah, but I can't do that.
Yeah,
I
that-
can't, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I'm on that, so I'm supporting that. Nah, I can't do that.
That's a fact, and
Fix that.
and we got to give it up to the man, but it's not me. The man behind, I call him the scientist. I call him my producer.
Okay.
That's my brother Frances. You know, he's the one that makes it happen.
That's
the
what's
audio,
up.
the visual. So
I mean, after I saw all of this, no wonder why it sounds right. You know what I'm saying? Because you have all of this, it don't sound right, yo. But come on, bro.
but big ups my brother Frances. You know, we've been bro. We got 15 coming up.
Nice.
With you now, we got 4 in the chamber.
Okay.
You know about this life,
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
I'm pretty
Trust
sure
me.
you guys, 'cause there's different language with podcasts. You got
Yeah.
interviews coming that said they're coming, and then you got the clip. So I got 4 in the clip now.
Nice.
And so I got because I need that, because just in case I want to go to Dubai, you know what I'm saying?
Bro, I do the same thing.
The show still goes on.
I be traveling, you know, Tank be in New York, and I'm like, yo, we have so many episodes in the pipeline. We could take a month or 2 off and just
Yeah.
keep letting them rip. You know what I'm saying?
But and let's go back to the podcast. How do you like? So even though it was his baby and you joined him, and obviously you helped him with your connections, and I'm pretty sure your relationships, you know, people that you get on the show is because of your cloth, obviously.
Yeah.
And maybe he gets some people too, whatever. I don't know the situation, but honestly, how do you like it though?
It's cool, bro. You know what I like? I like the feedback. You know what I'm saying? I like the feedback. It's a new space for me. You know, some dudes that really know me, they're like, yo, bro, like you a natural, like you've been doing it forever. And I'm like, yo, I come from radio. So it's sort of, you know, podcasts are the new radio shows and the new radio stations. Because
we just said we don't listen to radio.
I don't listen to radio. I don't.
Sorry,
you know what I'm saying?
sorry, radio people.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So like even the radio personalities now, they all have pods, they all have shows.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? So like this is the new wave, you know what I'm saying? And especially if you're doing it right, you know what I'm saying? This is it. I'm comfortable with it. You know, it might seem like I've been doing it for 20 years. No, we just started. And we still learning too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just because we're getting some great guests, every show gets better and better, bro. Every show gets better and better. The editing is getting better and better. And just the feedback is dope. Like when you think somebody's not watching, bro, they watching. Trust me.
Oh, I get DMs now, and I'm like, yo, babe, look. Matter of fact, Mike hit me up. I was fucked up, even though I knew him already. Cause Eric, yo, I'm gonna hook you up with Mike. I'm like, yo, Eric, leave him alone, bro.
Yeah, I haven't
He
seen
knows
Eric
I
in
exist.
years.
Leave him alone.
Yeah.
Like, nah, that's my man, and you my brother, and we got. I said, Eric, when Mike is ready, he will reach out, and that's what happened.
Bro, I haven't seen Eric in years, and I ran into him the first time at Mike's party.
At Noma.
Yeah, and I was like, damn, bro, like we were kids. Like that's how long.
Oh, wait. Let's go back to that. Really?
Yeah,
I'm
bro.
thinking y'all just.
Bro, I'm talking about like.
So LES people know each other.
Yeah, I haven't
It's
seen
a small
Eric.
city.
I haven't seen him in over 20 years, maybe longer.
Wow.
Facts. It was definitely longer since junior high school days, bro. That's how
Wow.
back we go.
That's fire,
And that's why Mike was bugging like, yo, y'all LES niggas be connected for real.
But why is that? It's really because the schools, right? The schools, the playgrounds, everything is there.
Everything is there.
So you have to know somebody.
It's a very tight knit community. You know what I'm saying? So like if you was outside, then you know us. You know what I'm saying? For the dudes that wasn't outside, they different. You know what I'm saying? But we was outside, bro.
That's fire. But like I said, my brother, thank you for doing this.
No, I appreciate the invite, man.
No, I had to, bro. I'm like, and I wanted to send it sooner. I'm like, let him chill for a second, you know, because like I got a relationship with the Office Experience. You just did theirs several months ago, and I was like, I'm gonna get him. So it just has to. You probably send invites all the time, and you could probably get whoever you want, or you could try at least, you know. But it just has to be the right moment, bro.
Yeah,
You know
and
what
it's
I'm saying?
all timing, bro. It's all timing. It's organic. You know what I'm saying? And again, this is an honor. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? So every time somebody reaches out, I'm like, that's dope.
Let me check that audio.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's the first thing I do. We're gonna check that audio, bro, because you ain't gonna have me sounding crazy in your pod.
And look it, guys. I just gave y'all a cheat code. If you want to talk to Dren, make sure your audio's fire, because he gonna let you know. Nah, bro, I'm busy. I can't do your shit. Thank you, Dren Starr. Appreciate you.
brother.
Legend, baby. Appreciate
the
you, my
opportunity.
brother. Thank you, man. Yeah. Thank you.